Hey everyone, welcome to another video tutorial. Today we're going to be crocheting our yarn scrap ribbon number 2. So to start with our ribbon, we're going to need to crochet a slip knot, alright, now that we've tightened that up, we're going to need a chain of 9 stitches. And then I'm going to pinch this very last stitch over here so that I don't lose it. And we're going to chain 2 more because we're starting our row number 1. And then we're going to go back those 2 stitches and we're going to make 1 double crochet. And then we're going to chain 2. And we're going to count 2 stitches. And on the 3rd stitch, we're going to crochet 1 double crochet. And then we're going to make 1 double crochet in the stitch next to it. And then we're going to chain 2. And then in the last 2 stitches, we're going to crochet a double crochet in each. So I'll go my second to last stitch and make 1 double crochet. And then in my last stitch, I'm going to make a double crochet. And that is the end of row 1. So that's the very beginning part of my work. So for the second row, we're going to chain 2, turn our work around, and then we're going to skip this very first stitch. We're going to work in the second stitch. So we're going to go in here and we're going to make a double crochet because our chain's going to count as the second double crochet. And we're going to chain 1, and right in between these 2 double crochets from the previous row, we're going to make 3 cluster stitches. So I'm just going to make here we go, yarn over once and then twice and then a 3rd time because I'm going to do just a small little I think it's also known as a puff stitch. I just call it a cluster stitch, but I'm only going to go wrap my yarn around 3 times. So I'll do this one again. So there you go, and now I'll yarn over, pull through all of the loops and then just pull through all of those and then just close up the stitch. So then I'll make a 3rd one, and then I'll just close this stitch up as well. So that's 3, and then I'm going to chain 1, and then we're going to make a double crochet right here in this last stitch, and in between the last 2 double crochets from that previous row right next to it, so there's that little space, we're just going to crochet 1 more double crochet in there. And that will frame our work. Alright, so for this next row, we're going to chain 2, turn our work around, and we're also going to skip the very first stitch, go into the second one, and make a double crochet. And then we chain 2. And right in the middle little cluster right here, right in this little puff right there, we're going to make 2 double crochets. So this is essentially repeating that very first row. And then we chain 2, and then we're going to make our 2 double crochets at the end. So I'll just go to this last stitch over here. So if it's easier for you to just try to find the last 2 stitches and crochet those, go for it. I kind of find it's easier to just go to the last stitch and then go make my second double crochet in between the 2 double crochets of the previous row. So now we chain 2, turn our work around, and we're going to be repeating row 2. So we skip that first stitch, and in the second stitch we make a double crochet. We chain 1, and right in between these 2 double crochets, we're going to make our 3 little clusters or our 3 little puffs. So it's 3 little puff stitches. So yarn over once, and twice, and 3 times. So I'm yarning over a total of 6 if you count the yarn over at the beginning. So it's yarn over and then insert the hook, yarn over again. So I do that 6 times, or if you just want to count the second time you yarn over as 1, then it's 3 times. But there we go, and we chain 1, and then we just finish off our row with our 2 double crochets. So then these, let me get this last one. Okay, and then for this next row, we're just going to be repeating the same, our first row essentially. So that's all our pattern is. We're just going to keep repeating these 2 rows over and over until we get the length that we want. So these, this ribbon's just really nice to make whenever you have that extra leftover yarn that you can't make a full project out of. You could just make these little ribbons for your gifts and stuff, and they're just a nice little touch, and it keeps your hands busy. So it's also a very nice quick project that you can keep in like a purse or your pocket, because it's just a small little bits of yarn and just your small hook. Well, in this case it was a small hook because I'm using a fingering yarn. But anyway, I'm going to crochet a couple more rows of this, and then I'll show you what it looks like. And that's our ribbon number 2. So if you have any questions or any comments, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see any more content like this in the future. And thanks for watching.